Better days. Better days. OmniDog in the Minister of Comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat. With a name like that, you think they talk more about the past. Better days. Better days. Better days. In the Bat Cave.
Hey-o, welcome to a special Friday night. Oh, it's a big night. Friday night, Batter Days in the Bat Cave, because it's a KIWI takeover. I can't find any friends around here, so I have to go halfway around the world, or all the way around the world, to get my Kiwi friends from New Zealand. And we have the lovely Beyond Comics with his lovely tats and beard. You want to show your tats off at all?
Sure, here you go.
There you go, baby. The lovely Batmantha, who has only 2 hours because she's got such a busy schedule. And she thinks she's funny also. She's yanking my chain in the email. Funny. Very funny. And the beautiful Crisis, who apparently is the whole reason everybody's tuning in. They want to see Crisis on a Batter Day.
Well, here's the story. I normally can never stream on a US Batter Day, but since the Kiwis have quorum today, since it's 3 of us versus Jess, it's Saturday for us. So as far as we're concerned, this is Batter Days.
That's right. And go ahead. What?
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay. It's quorum. At first I was like, quorum. Wait, is that a special New Zealand voting thing? And I was like, oh yeah, quorum. That's like a group of people. I forgot. So, okay, I'm with it. Okay, great. We don't have a topic. So these guys were geeking out about Lady Gaga's latest song, album, everything. Then they see, this was all in the green room, and I'm telling them it's content because people find you interesting. So what's the deal with making friends in New Zealand? Let's start with that before we spend 45 minutes on Lady Gaga.
It's impossible.
Really?
We just look at people from like the other side of the room and that's it. There's no talking.
This is true.
Did you say you tried to make a friend recently and
It's work.
It's work.
It's a lot of work. I haven't had a friendship like this. It's work.
And Beyond, you said that you were born in New Zealand and it's still impossible to find a friend.
Yeah, it's a different culture, I guess. I've heard from other people who've moved here from overseas that it's notoriously difficult compared with overseas.
And Peter, who's busy typing into the chat. Oh, did Batman do something with her hair? Yeah, she washed it. Okay, nice. I washed my hair too. Yeah, it was disgusting before I got on here. I did see something earlier. Yes, Mr. Tex, just competing against himself. I also got the Essential Collected Editions for March 2025 alert. I had to get it up before and then we have a cat visit.
Amazing.
I had to get the collected editions up because otherwise I would miss the chance. And this says, okay, Crisis says this is your most epic thumbnail of all time. I have Beyond Comics and his partner to thank for that. He specially created it. Let me see if I can bring it up so I can examine it. Okay. First of all, nicely done with the donuts.
Yeah, donuts and dogs, which have just come to New Zealand. So
Yeah, we just got dogs.
I'm so sorry.
I was maybe expecting the laser kiwi to be on there. Yeah, I didn't know how down the kiwi rabbit hole we were going to go, or if we're just down Jess's personal kiwi lore rabbit hole.
My personal knowledge. Okay, flavored beverage lemon peora. What is
Lemon and pyroa.
Okay, what is
So
what?
there's a place in New Zealand in the North Island called Pyroa, and there's also a drink that is called LNP, which stands for lemon and pyroa, which I would describe as tasting like a mixture of lemon or lemonade and ginger ale would probably be the best way I could describe it. And in pyroa, there's a big giant bottle, which is what's in the thumbnail.
Okay, and I see that you have sheep represented here with beautiful background, mountains with snow. What's the bird to the left? He's got a pink little head with a beak, and otherwise he's blue. Is that some type of kiwi peacock, or what's happening there?
It's called a pukeko.
So your viewers can appreciate the visual smorgasbord that you're reacting to, Jess.
Yeah, let me share that. Let's see. OmniDog's window. Okay, here we go. Okay, so
There we go.
Okay, Beyond Comics and his partner created this. So it's called a poo kicker?
A pukeko.
A pukeko.
Pukeko. Nice. Good job, Jess.
Nailed it.
And are they all over the place or native to a certain area?
I would say they're, at least in the North Island where I am, they are definitely everywhere. They like to hang around the roads and often go too far into the middle of the road.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Oh dear.
They've got a very funny little strut. They've got like long, spindly legs, and they kind of like walk around like that. Like they've got like they're the Mick Jagger of the New Zealand birds, and so I always get a good laugh out of them by the side of the road because they just look like they really think they're in charge of something as they're walking around by the side of the road. New Zealand birds are great. I don't think that all Kiwis appreciate how hilarious and great the birds are. I mean, Kiwi and Pukeko aside, drunk kararoos crashing into the side of your house, golden. It's content.
Okay, what do they get drunk on? Some kind of berries?
Yeah, you nailed it. So they're first of all, they're giant. They're a pigeon the size of a turkey, pretty much. I mean, I'm seeing nodding. I'm not exaggerating this too much.
Mhm.
And they just sit in trees and eat these berries, and the berries ferment in their stomachs in the warmth on the trees, and then they fall out of the trees, or they like stumble around in the road, or sometimes they will crash into your house, which has happened to me. And then I found it and I thought it was dead, but it was just drunk on my deck, this karoo, and I had to be like, away, and like tried to like get it up on its feet because it was hammered.
That sounds like me in my 20s. Yeah, I randomly wake up on somebody's deck. I do remember, I think it was pyracantha that my mom grew. They were red berries, and the birds would eat those things, and they would get drunk and smack into our windows. So I can relate to that. What's the bird in the yellow? Is that like a warning that a peekapoo or whatever it's crossing there? Be careful, or what's happening?
That's a kiwi, Jess.
That's a kiwi.
That would be a kiwi.
A kiwi
Bird.
what?
Kiwi bird.
Oh, it's a kiwi bird.
Yeah.
You have to be careful here to say kiwi bird, kiwi fruit, or kiwis without when it's not as an adjective, it's people. So if you say I'm going to eat a kiwi, sometimes I have found kiwis get cross with me if I don't say I'm going to eat a kiwi fruit.
We call them kiwi fruit.
Yeah,
Fruit.
you got to be specific.
Okay, no surprise. I'm learning something here. Had no idea there was a kiwi bird. I thought it was just a kiwi fruit.
You've never seen a kiwi bird?
I'm seeing one now.
Oh my goodness.
How would I have seen a kiwi bird?
I don't know. They're famous for being kiwi birds. I don't know.
I never leave my house. How am I going to see a kiwi bird?
And
I've
they're
been-
nocturnal primarily. So if you go to a zoo to see them, at least this is how it is at the Wellingtons here, it's like you're stepping into like a Friday the 13th movie exhibit, because it's all dark and it's just lit with this red light, and you just hear all this rustling in the brush, and then you never see one. I've probably been to the exhibit like, I don't know, 8-9 times, and I've been to the Auckland Zoo exhibit. I've maybe seen one kiwi, and because they're very elusive. but it's like a little mini horror movie set because they only come out when it's dark and they can rustle around in the brush. But they've been releasing them here. Why am I giving all the Kiwi facts? I don't know anything.
We have the native Kiwis here.
Yeah, I just this
You're
is
doing
how
a
I
great
try
job.
to. Okay, you'll stop me if I say something egregious, right?
It's fine.
But they're reintroducing them, they're rewilding them here in the Wellington region, and they announced that they're letting them out in certain regions. And they have dog training to train your dogs to not eat the kiwis. They do it like little stuffies and stuff, but they have specific don't eat the kiwis dog training because they're starting to release more and more of them into the wild around Wellington. Because they have no defense. They're a little juice box. If you look at it, it even has a straw built in. Any large predatory animal that's not native to New Zealand sees that bird and they go, drinks.
They can't fly.
Yeah, they can't fly.
They can't fly. Okay. The other kickapoo thing that's the one that gets drunk on the berries and crashes into your window?
That's a pukeko.
Yeah, right. That thing. That's what gets drunk and crashes into your window. So they
That's a kerero.
What? What happened?
So I told a story. It's my fault. I told a story about a third unrelated bird.
Oh my
A
God.
third unrelated bird has hit the building.
Okay, I got it. Any issues with sheep in your house?
No, I'm going to hand it back to Lee to narrate the thumbnail. I want to tap out.
Okay, Liam, there's a couple other things on this thumbnail, which is epic. It is really good. There are pineapple lumps.
Mhm.
Yeah, pineapple lumps. It's kind of like a chewy pineapple center that's covered in chocolate. That's a popular treat that is known here.
I
And
used to freeze mine. Has anyone done that?
Beyond
No,
is shaking his
Yeah.
head. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you don't chew them. You just like suck on them because they're frozen
Yeah.
and they would take your tooth out.
Yeah.
And I learned about Tim Tams the last time I had Bo on, and
Sometimes it's so good.
I found them in my grocery store, and I was obsessed with them. They are so good. It was only one flavor, but I did what Bo suggested, biting off each end and then sucking the milk through, doing a Tim Tam slam, and then chomping on the milk-filled Tim Tam. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. Food. I'll put it in that subcategory. So yeah, Tim Tams are awesome, and they weren't very expensive in my grocery store. On the Bozo's site, they were way expensive.
How much did you pay there?
$5 American for a bar. But on the Bozo's
That's like,
site, they were like
$7.50, $8.
In New Zealand, Dosh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. What are they there in New Zealand?
I don't know, like
Maybe-
$6 a packet, $5 a packet. Is anything $5 anymore? I don't think anything.
I was just thinking, like, everything seems like it's gotten out of that range in the last year or two. There's nothing at the grocery store that's just $5 anymore.
Maybe I should send you the Tim Tams because they were only like $5 a piece.
There's tons of New Zealand exports that are so much cheaper externally because there's so many kinds of agriculture and farming that we don't, and businesses that we don't subsidize here, but are subsidized by exports. So like New Zealand beef, people on Reddit all the time post pictures of they found New Zealand beef in like Japan and it's cheaper than it would be in New Zealand because things are sometimes cheaper as exports from New Zealand. Not Whitaker's though. I think we do get the best price on Whitaker's here in country. That's my understanding.
Whitaker's is still expensive.
It's so expensive, but I think all other chocolate tastes like garbage now. Like somebody slipped me like a Hershey's Kiss. I'm like, this looks like a small animal turd after you've been eating Whitaker's for several years.
Yeah, their chocolate is definitely made differently here in the States than in other places. What's Whitaker's? It's a kind of chocolate.
Whitaker's is a chocolate brand.
Okay.
And it's like,
real creamy.
it's like the best chocolate you've ever had.
Batmantha, when was the last time you even had a sweet? I know you're just hardcore protein packed training right now because you're tone building muscle, want to take on the world.
I had a taste of ice cream yesterday. I know that.
A taste, and you left it at that?
Yeah, someone gave me a scoop.
Uh,
You know, one of those ice cream shops.
yeah. If that's a superpower, I would have had to just say, to take this giant 16-ounce mug and fill it full of your best flavor. Several of your best flavors.
You're talking to someone who just got a box of jelly tips to bring home for my daughter and literally ate the entire box while in the car on the way home.
Didn't get any.
I don't even like jelly tips that much. They taste like chemical burn. But it was ice cream and it was in an enclosed space with me, and I should have a restraining order. So that's the child. She doesn't even know that. She would only know if she looked in. They were gone by the time the car pulled into the driveway. I
admit, I had barely left the store before I started in on those Tim Tams. I wiped those things out, and I've been thinking about them ever since.
I have been thinking, because I don't watch a lot of YouTube other than like you in very fine condition, but I do like channels that sometimes do kind of like taste every kind of food at certain kind of store, like eat every treat at Trader Joe's. And I was thinking like, oh, I should do an eat every New Zealand cookie video. I should just get one of each, set aside my new comics budget 1 week and just come home with every kind of cookie.
Cookies from the supermarket?
Yeah, because there's Americans have no idea. They've never heard of like any of the brands.
Oh, you mean like biscuits?
Oh, I mean biscuits. What do you mean when you say cookies? What are cookies?
I thought you meant like chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, so a cookie is like a chocolate chip cookie. No, I mean the whole range of biscuits. I mean every kind of biscuit. I like the ones with the lemon filling that are like salty on the outside for some inexplicable reason. That I find them very entertaining.
Okay, how soon can we get this video up? If you need help with it, I'll get all the cookies in America, and we can compare. This is my dream video now. And I'm not kidding. Either you do it by yourself or I'm doing it with you, and we will taste test cookies for like 12 hours. That's fine with me.
I need to get back on Samantha's exercise regimen for a month before I can do the cookie taste test. Things are going. If the jelly tip massacre is not an indication, things are going poorly here right now.
The jelly tip massacre. Yes, I also am eating nothing but protein and walking a lot, so that will be my reward. That will be my cheat video. That's what we'll call it. The cookie test cheat video. Now, there's one more thing on this Beyond Comics. Above the brand new dog that you got in New Zealand, there is a bracelet of gold.
It's a ring. So the one ring from Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Are you familiar with New Zealand's history with Lord of the Rings?
Yes. It was all filmed there, right? Even the Hobbit stuff?
Yeah, correct. And Weta Workshop worked on it, who's an incredible company that does a lot of filmmaking stuff. They do special effects as well, like CGI on most of the big films that come out these days. And they're based here, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so that's the one ring. That is really boss. Let me give viewers an idea of New Zealand's a very large country. So where are you? You don't have to dox yourself, but like you're Beyond Comics, you're in the North Islands area.
Yeah, I'm pretty central North Island, about an hour away from Hobbiton, the Hobbiton movie set.
The Hobbiton movie set. Okay.
Yeah.
And Peter, from him, how far away are you, do you think?
I'm like a solid, depending on which hour away from Hobbiton he is, I'm like a solid 6.5 hour drive from there. So I'm in the Wellington region, which is at the bottom tip of the North Island.
Bottom tip. And Batmantha, where?
I'm in Auckland.
And where is that in relation to the bottom and the north rings of Hobbiton?
It's about an hour north of me.
Yeah, I'd be an hour from Liam.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't drive to see Crisis. I'd fly.
Okay.
I would not fly because I would not want to fly back into the Wellington airport because that landing strip that they call a runway is not my favorite. So I would drive.
Okay.
I've been to Wellington once and I never went back.
Well, now is not the time to come to visit Wellington under the current regime.
Oh, don't even get me started on regimes, you guys.
So yeah, we have no South Island representation. There's got to be a comic fan somewhere on the South Island we can recruit for future Kiwi streams.
Reaper already in here giving me crap. Does New Zealand have donuts? Australia only started exporting them there a few years ago. Kia ora peeps. Okay.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
What?
Kia ora.
Kia. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, you taught me this before.
Mm-hmm.
What am I saying?
But I mean, I'm not going to scold you for saying kia ora.
I know you've been nice about that, but say it again.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. And what is it?
It's like hi. It's a greeting.
Kia ora. Okay. Hi, peeps. Elon is saying.
Yeah, so it's got like a liaison in the middle, like French. That's why if you were just saying them as separate words, separated, you would say them very pronounced how you're saying them. But because they're together, they're very liaised. So it's kia ora, which you've been saying well. And then when you're greeting a group of people or everyone, you could say kia ora koto. But kia ora works. It's kind of like salut in French. It kind of just like you can use it all the time as like a hello or how's it going or whatever. It's just like a greeting word.
And so, Peter, when you're at like at school trying to meet parents, is that what you say to somebody that you spot that could be a possible friend? You say, kia ora, I am Crisis, and I'm famous around the world, but I don't have any friends here in New Zealand, so would any chance you'd take pity on me and respond to what I'm saying?
Well, I really felt early on, since I have this very obvious non-New Zealand accent, that I wanted to be heard using New Zealand words and, which are Māori words, because that's one of the official languages of New Zealand. And actually at my first job here, not too long after we got here, they had a pōwhiri, which is like a greeting ceremony. And everybody there that was new to the job was going to be saying a pepeha, which is a Māori kind of introduction of self that introduces you in the context of your family and of your nearby body of water and nearby mountain. But I didn't know a single word of Māori other than kia ora at that time. And so I learned my pepeha phonetically so that I could recite it because I didn't know what any of the words meant. And I did it. And afterwards they were like, wow, you learned that just for this? I'm like, well, I know I learned the syllables. I don't know what any of the words mean. But over time, I don't have a great brain for language, but now I try to throw in little, Māori greetings and brief sayings where I can, because I want to be respectful of the land. It's not my land,
Yeah, I think I figured out why you guys are having trouble making friends there. You've got all this extra language you need to learn to talk to people.
Well, no, I mean, Sam and Liam, would you say that anyone is fluent? The only people that I know are fluent are people who specifically work in like Māori Pacifica services. I don't think I know anybody who's fluent. Just
I don't know anyone.
Casually.
I don't know anyone who's fluent. I don't even know anyone who can really speak it. Who can have a proper conversation.
Okay, so got it.
Have it. It might be right around here somewhere. Oh, I think I see it. Hold on, I'm stepping off camera.
What is this, like a book of kia ora sayings?
Close enough.
Oh, but I didn't fill it all out. That's not going to help.
Okay, so we've looked at this marvelous Kiwi takeover. Anything else you want to point out in this? It's beautiful.
I will say that I don't take any credit for it. It was all my partner, this one. She's got the Photoshop skills. But now we've finished that, I think, OmniDog, if you want to take us away with the New Zealand national anthem.
Okay, wait a sec.
After you, Jess.
Hey, Siri. What is the New Zealand national anthem?
New Zealand has two national anthems, God Save the Queen and God Defend New Zealand. The latter is more commonly used. This is from World
Population Review. Musically, there's two national anthems. The Maori version of the song was created in 1878. Wow. New Zealand national anthem lyrics. I have the lyrics, but I don't have the music. God.
We'll survive.
God of nations at thy feet.
Oh no.
I don't think I've ever heard the English language national anthem sung ever. Is that a sporting event thing? Do they do that?
Yeah.
In my experience, they usually sing the Māori version first.
Yeah.
Followed by the English version. But we'll spare you, OmniDog. I was just kidding. We'll work on it though. By the end of the stream.
Yeah, you see, I have no problem embarrassing myself on a live stream. I'm happy to do it. I mean, it's content, man. Anything for content. Someone explain to Jess who Dan Carter and Jonah Lomu are. Lomu.
They're famous rugby players that played in the All Blacks.
The All Blacks. Okay, I've heard that term before. I'm a Chiefs fan. You don't have a choice in the matter. Are they also a rugby team? Or is this referring to the stupid American football
They're
team?
a rugby team.
Rugby team. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Okay, and this is for any Aussies in the chat. James is
Wrong
interested.
show.
Donuts and dogs. Good. I do know that those were donuts. Just as guests won't know what those are. Yeah, they've been introduced. They know. The One Ring is an epic add to it, though. Nice, Sasmer, if you figured it out. Here's Joey. You didn't respond. He's from down under. Oi, oi, oi. Leading authority on teaching Maori on the internet. Yeah, I struggle with Spanish, but that would be great.
You'd fit in right in with old white people in New Zealand saying it like that.
Well, if someone wants to give me a Maori something to say in Maori, of course I'll do it. Here's Hobby. Nice to see you, Joey. Yup. I smashed my one Omni month Mr. Tax of goal by reading Marvel Knights, DD Omnibus, to Bendis and Brubaker. Nicely done. 3/4 Southern Hemisphere. How y'all doing down there? Crisis remarked, it's almost too beautiful in Welly today.
Jealous. It's a bit grey in Auckland today, but I think tomorrow's supposed to be good.
It's going to be decent weather for your football match.
I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to rain, but I'm doing a run tomorrow. We're doing Round the Bays. Do you guys know Round the Bays? Yeah. So I think the weather should be fine for that.
Okay, how far is that? Oh my God, it's going to be in kilometers. Okay, tell me and I'll.
Yeah, it's only 8.4 kilometers, so it's not like anything.
Oh, okay, I know what a 10K is.
It's like quite a big. It's quite a big event, and they're going to be closing the streets and stuff. So, yeah, that's my first running event that I would have done since I started running.
Yeah, you've been training. What? How many people will be competing in that?
I think it'll be thousands.
Thousands of people.
I think so.
Okay. I was already.
I'm obsessed.
Oh my gosh.
Hershey.
I don't think I turned her off a
Obsessed.
single time in January. Like straight through, no stop, repeat of Alligator Bites Never Heal throughout.
Was Dochi?
I feel really bad. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jess. I feel really bad because my friend works at a cafe, and I went to the cafe one day, and I was like, "Have you heard Dochi?" And I was like, "Why don't you play her?" And so she played it on the loudspeaker in the cafe, and it was like, "Oh, I got to turn it off." It was just not safe for work.
Yeah, is Dochi the person I watched the Tiny Desk concert of? That Freddie?
Yes.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
her Grammys performance is one of the greatest performances in the history of the Grammys. I've watched it easily 100 times.
First of all, I clearly admit what I am. I am me, and her songs are not directed at me at all. That doesn't mean people can't enjoy them, but I watched that Tiny Desk concert, and there's a lot of words in there that I obviously can't use or weren't directed towards me. And then, and of course, anger is part of it. And there's anger in there. But then she get done with the song after she had a great band. The band was brilliant. But then she got done with this like really angry song, and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. You all are so great, and I love you all so much." And then she goes, and then she goes back into her angry anthem, and I was like, "Well, she's nice in person, but I'm kind of scared of what she's singing." So, but yeah, I don't think that's cafe music.
No, it wasn't suitable for the cafe. I felt really bad.
It's such a brilliant mixtape. It was nominated and won Rap Album of the Year, which is cool to see a mixtape by a woman. She's only the third woman in Grammy's history to win Rap Album along with.
I couldn't believe that.
Obviously Lauryn Hill, and is the other one Doja
Cardi
Cat?
B.
Oh, Cardi B. And it's such a cool album because it's got so many really interesting samples. And I was watching online that she just is a voracious beats consumer. And if she sees somebody on YouTube or SoundCloud who's got a cool beat, she will just reach out and be like, "Ooh, like I'm going to rap over your beat." And the guy that did the beat for Denial is a River is just this like random YouTube guy. And he was like, Doechii took this and we couldn't clear the sample. So I had to actually rebuild that little like clanging thing in the background myself because the sample didn't clear. And now I have a Grammy because she won. And I was one of the songwriters and producers on the album. So that's so cool. I love cool that it's like, there's like a grassroots quality to her because she's just making music that sounds cool. I mean, she's on a big label, but she herself just has a great sense of like what sounds cool. And I love that no matter who it is. I love that when Taylor Swift does it. I love it when David Bowie did it. Anybody who just likes cool sounds to me is a cool artist.
Alana, big fan of Blossom Dearie.
That's how I broke my Doechii addiction. I've been listening to some like jazz and swing. Blossom Dearie is like a jazz pianist. I want to say she's French. Where's Max when I need him? From the 1950s. No, she's American. I was just hearing her play French songs. But she's primarily a pianist, but she also sang sometimes too. And she just has brilliant, perfect albums for like a spring day. That's all like really light, lovely jazz piano. And so I've been listening to her a lot. Whenever I find a new medium of song that I'm not familiar with, I'm always like, well, where are the women that made this medium? Where are the people of color that were in this medium? And where are the queer people that were in this medium? Because I never just want to be like, ooh, jazz, let's listen to like 10 white guys. Oh, rap, let's listen to a bunch of dudes rap. So I'm like always looking for like who is the counter example in that medium. And that's how I find people like Doechii and Blossom Dearie.
That's so cool.
Yeah, this was 20 minutes ago, and you're right. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Crisis, please, can you show a page of that DC style guide? It looks so cool. Yeah, just so you all know, all four of us love comics.
We haven't touched on that yet.
And we don't have to. This is part of the Kiwi takeover. You talk about whatever you want, but we all, comics is what had me reach out to all of them to be on my show because they all love comics.
Well, I've been talking a lot so far.
As you can tell.
Why don't we hear some talk from someone else, and then I will show off if nobody has this yet. I just got it this week finally in the mail.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but I'll save that for a moment.
Beyond comics, what kind of music do you like?
I'm pretty open to genres these days. Like I listen to quite a variety, but the main artist that I keep coming back to at the moment, do you guys know Paris Paloma?
No.
Paris Paloma. Check out the songs. Labor is one of her more popular ones, and Hunter as well. Both really, really good. She's a really young artist, and she's great.
And what?
Very cool singer-songwriter, my favorite.
What genre would she be in? Pop?
I guess so. I'm not sure how I would describe it. Yeah, I guess pop.
Okay, wait.
I'm going to listen to her in the Uber on the way to the football.
And I'll listen to her right afterwards. What was her name?
It's Paris Paloma.
Paloma. Okay. I will listen to it right afterwards. Actually, I could turn it on right now and turn off my mic and listen to it. So that is certainly possible. Phenomenal AC, thank you. Don't forget to like that smash button, smash that like button, everything. Peter isn't from New Zealand. He's a Philly dude. How did you end up there? That's a interesting story. I don't know if he wants to tell it, but
There was a job offer involved, and it was at the kind of beginning of 2017, which seemed a decent time to move out of the United States, as right now also sort of does. And so not only for political reasons, but because Kid Crisis was just about to start school for the first time. So it was like we were going to have to like pick a school anyway and like move somewhere and do all that school stuff. So we were like, well, New Zealand is somewhere. Let's go to New Zealand. And I've just been there ever since, been here ever since.
And you Mr. Mommed it for the first couple years.
Yeah, I was already a stay-at-home parent at the end of being in Philadelphia, because I worked at a startup and it was hardcore, like, you know, back to the wall, 60, 70 hours a week. And I, at the end of that, was like, ooh, I'm going to take a sabbatical and then go back to work. And then the sabbatical turned into moving to New Zealand.
Yeah, we had that in common. Just timmed before he even tammed. I know what's going on. Yeah, cookies. That's right. See? Cookie Monster better be on that thumbnail. No, I know the difference between our biscuits and their biscuits. Their biscuits are awesome. Ours have gravy on them, and it's very weird. Very fine condition, doesn't have the cojones to do a Kiwi takeover stream. We stand OmniDog. Thraxui. Thank you so much. Wait, that's awesome.
I'm glad you said it out loud, because I was reading it as Thraxussy, and that's a totally different word.
And you can tour the Weta Cave here in Wellington. Explain.
So Weta, which Liam was talking about, is a special effects company, but they also do a lot of practical effects, like miniature special effects. And one of their primary locations that was originally like Peter Jackson's home office is here in Wellington, in the other half of the city. And so you can actually go and they take you through how they built some famous props, not just from Lord of the Rings. They've, you know, done many movies, but they do have some of the original props there. And it's called the Weta Cave. So it's one of those things that like all tourists do. And it's funny because it's such a weird, it's just this weird little building where a bunch of people are like sitting making plaster models. Like it's not a big people think they're going to go on this big studio tour. Even Hobbiton, I mean, beyond, you can say Hobbiton, I mean, it's a bunch of doors. It's lovely. I love it there. And the Green Dragon Inn is so cool. But people think they're going to go to this like Universal Studios experience. and then they walk down that little path with the stone wall on one side that Gandalf goes down with Frodo. And then they see it's a bunch of hills with doors. And it's like, Hobbiton!
It's so pretty though. It's weird. We're like, I take all of my friends whenever they come to New Zealand. I'm like, right, we're gonna go to.
But I have to just tell them there's nothing inside the doors. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful in the way that Middle Earth is beautiful. Yeah.
They have furnished 2 of them now, I think. So there are 2 that more recently now you can go inside them, and there's so much detail inside to look at. You could spend hours in there and still miss like little details that they've put in things.
Oh, here I am giving inaccurate New Zealand information. Now my citizenship application just got pushed back 2 more months.
No.
Last time I was there, they didn't have it. They didn't have it.
I think
there's one you could like peek into a little.
It's pretty recent, I think. But there's also, have either of you 2 been to Weta Unleashed in Auckland? Weta Workshop Unleashed? So that's,
I live here, but no.
Yeah, so that's another, I think they call it a movie making experience that I highly recommend.
That's at Sky City, right?
Yeah. So it's super central Auckland if anyone ever comes to New Zealand. And I highly recommend that. It's a lot of fun.
I've walked past it a million times and I've just, no.
We were only in Auckland for all of like 36 hours last year because we had to go to the embassy or the consulate or whatever American nonsense we had to do. So we went to the zoo and we went to Rainbow's End because Kid Crisis had never been on like a proper amusement park ride, and that week there was no roller coaster. The roller coaster was under repair that week, so she's still never been on a proper roller coaster. But you know, she totally lost her chicken. So you know, the big drop rides and all the little carts and stuff. But that's all I've done, and eaten lots of gelato. I went to every possible gelato place I could go to. But those are the only 3 things I managed to achieve in 36 hours in Auckland.
Now there is a wrestling question for you, Batmantha, but if you don't want to answer it, I won't put it up. I know you're, you'd rather talk about other things. I get it.
I'll give my true feelings. I'll
Oh,
express
good.
my true feelings.
That's exactly what I want from you. Jess, ask Samantha about the Elimination Chamber and what she thought about The Rock's appearance last week.
So I haven't been watching SmackDown because I find it just so embarrassing. I watched a little bit of last week's show and I thought it sucked. And that's being nice about it. I don't want to swear on your stream, Jess, but
yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
I can't stand The Rock. I can't stand The Rock. In anything he does.
Let's say you can't stand the effing Rock.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I have a feeling. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of his either.
And yeah. No, I don't care about Elimination Chamber. I don't know when it is. When is it? Tomorrow? I'm not watching it. I'm running. I have better things to do.
Okay, let's see. What's some New Zealand comedy, people shows you like, we outsiders probably don't know? Are there things indigenous to New Zealand that are comedy that have pretty much stayed within New Zealand?
New Zealand comedy is like the best representation is Flight of the Conchords.
Okay, and somebody mentioned that right there.
That's like dry New Zealand humor.
Okay.
Well, and What We Do in the Shadows, the original movie, is set in Wellington and is extremely New Zealand.
Oh, I have to see that show. Damn it.
The show is American, but it is
listening.
absolutely hilarious.
That Max has been after me forever to see that. Here's my buddy Jewish Dragons. How you doing, buddy? Good to have you here.
I don't consume a ton of comedy, but I do have one specific thing that I can recommend that's on YouTube for free. It's this, she's sort of like a journalist and a comedian. Her name is Alice Snedden, Snedden. And so she has this YouTube show that was like sponsored by one of the news network here. It's called Alice Snedden's Bad News, and she uses it to look after like something that's really unright about New Zealand. Like she'll talk to one of the episodes that really sticks out in my mind is we had a right to die bill here about people who wanted to use, assisted end of life, and that people on all sides of the debate had a lot of hot feelings about it. And so she hosted this dinner with like an actual politician and people who were, in palliative care, and people had strong opinions about it and kind of fostered communication. But it's also really, really funny. She's got a really deadpan humor, but there's 2 seasons of that on YouTube. It's really quick hit. It's like 14 or 15 minutes, but it's like a segment on John Oliver. It's produced in that format, and it's a cool way to learn like a bunch of little nuances of New Zealand life and politics from somebody who's very, very funny and self-effacing.
What's the channel you watch that has so much content that's funny on YouTube? It's a
Very Fine Condition. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's hilarious.
No, it contain I think it's on YouTube, and you watch a bunch of shows within it. They produce stuff. Drop Your Knowledge, something.
Oh, Dropout. Okay, not from New Zealand though. Not from New Zealand.
But I just saw a video from Dropout TV, and it was hilarious. So I want to make sure I start watching Dropout TV.
It makes me want to take improv classes, but I'm already insufferable enough, especially in a New Zealand context. I don't need improv to add to that.
Here's Hondo. Hey, hello, my friend OmniDog and his guest from New Zealand. I'll be listening on my way to work, working the Soccer Mommy show tonight at the Fillmore. Yeah, he gets to see all the great shows in the Bay Area. This is, am I saying Maori wrong?
Māori, like flip it, like it's say more like an Italian.
Māori.
There you go.
Do you have Māori medium schools at all? Do you teach Māori?
It wasn't an option when I was going to school. We had two options. You either learn French or you learn Japanese.
Oh, okay.
I think it's different now, though.
Yeah, I think they have it in some high schools for sure.
Of
We're
course, no.
We are not calling it Oh March. There's just no way. F that completely. I have a birthday in March too. We are not calling it Oh March. How dare you, Mr. Tex? That has got to stop right now.
He already started yesterday because it was the final stream of the month for live. He was like, "Oh, March is around the corner."
Oh, that rat bastard. Okay. Thank you, Peter. Beautiful language. Tell a bitch hurrah. What? Once Upon a Summertime is my favorite album from her.
Blossom Dearie.
Blossom Dearie. Okay. Max, wake up. Crisis needs you. Blossom Dearie is so fun. Now here's something I can relate to. I bought 6 Omnis today. I might never financially recover. Brian, tell me what Omnis you bought. And did I influence you at all in any of them?
Have you guys bought any Omnis lately?
I just got this. The thing that made me quit comics, and yet here I am.
You still
It's not as bad as I remember. I've been reading it with Crisis in digital, waiting for this to come out, and I just at the time the storyline didn't seem like it was going anywhere leading to Onslaught, and I did not like that manga influence of Joe Madden, Roger Cruz, and so I was like, I'm out. I need this money for my CDs budget. I needed import singles from the UK that had all the good B-sides on them, so I dropped comic books.
I bought a couple of absolutes from DC, but I have, which I'm happy to show you. I have not bought Omnis. I don't think I bought any Omnis recently. Okay, there's this, and what's the other one? Where's my M section? Oh, here it is.
Where's he gone?
I've gone off camera to my shelf. I always leave.
The Kiwis are in control.
And I haven't opened them yet, but I got the Mr. Miracle Omnibus.
Nice.
Jealous. It's
Yeah.
so
It
well
really looks like
designed.
he's in there.
Sorry, you feel like he's in there?
It really looks like he's in there, like it's 3D.
I will open it and show you what's so awesome about it. And then Absolute Transmet Volume 3, which has been out of print forever. And I just did the collected editions live. Not live, collected editions with Webhead. And there's a bunch of other cool Omnis that have been out of print and other things that have been out of print that are coming back in March. So if anyone wants to find out what they are, my video just posted collected edition, live collected essential collected editions for March 2025. And then we'll have our live show where everybody loves talking about ice cream and anything other than books. But here's this, like he's Peter, I can hear you typing.
Not
That's
me.
me.
Not me.
Oh, it's Sam. Okay, it's fine. And here you open the slipcase.
Oh, so he is really behind there. I thought it looked like there was some dimensionality aspect.
Yeah,
To
this is some serious work here.
it. Wow.
It was really bomb.
Die cut slipcase. Well, I
Yeah.
guess the Joker Year of the Death of the Family had like a translucency.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting that because it's really boss. But those are really the two things that I've gotten. Yeah, all my other new stuff is in the other room. I haven't shown this yet to anybody. Yeah, I'm leaving the set again. Batman. This is Herkin. It's Amanda Connor's Power Girl. And I got it for $25.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and I haven't opened it yet, which I need to do, but I love Amanda Connor. I love Power Girl. Oh, this is a boss back cover too. So I need to open this up and show it off. $25. This thing was originally $10,000, I think. No, I don't know what it was. but it was a lot more than 25. That was a big steal. Ilan has turned me onto this band, and I put this into our chat, Peter. I See Orange. That is my kind of music. I really dug them. They're very young. They've only put out a few things. I am hooked. I really dig them. Ilan, you did a good job there.
What kind of music is that?
I would say it's maybe indie rock.
Okay.
It's just a woman singing. I can't remember if she plays guitar too. Ilan, correct me on this. It's just 3 of them, but they're really awesome. I really dug what I saw. They've only got like a couple EPs out. And I think you can see all of their stuff on YouTube. I really dug them. That was one of Ilan's best recommendations to me. No, I did not. I should have saved the Tim Tams, but they didn't survive. I got three
You got to buy
things.
more.
Yeah, you're right. I totally blew it. AS
What
is
sort
here.
of kiwi biscuits would you recommend, guys, for people that have never?
I
Yeah.
think we need to get OmniDog to try some Whitaker's chocolate. I think for sure.
Yeah,
And
hundreds and thousands.
Is that only a Kiwi one?
I think so.
That's
Okay.
the thing. Is it's hard to know what they have, what you guys have over in the States.
yeah,
But
Well,
definitely
we could probably
hundreds of
ship them
thousands of
stuff, right? Because they don't care what they import into the United States. We could send all manner of food there, right?
what's it called again? Whitaker chocolate?
Whitaker's, yes.
Whitaker's New Zealand chocolate on the Bozo site. No, Belgian Whitaker's
I
chocolate.
haven't had Whitaker's in so long.
They just have the whole wall of it, all the blocks taunting you every time you go to the New World or the countdown, you know?
How much
of,
is the block now? Like $6 or $7?
I think it's $6.50 here now.
Well,
When we first got here, it was $4, and then it was $4.50 for like a few years, and then like COVID era was like $5, and now it's $6.50.
so here's what it is on the Bozo site.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But how much?
That's a serving for one, too.
Yeah,
Like,
you should know
despite
that.
what they say on the packet.
I'm sorry.
That's a serving for one.
Oh, serving for one. Oh, so it's pretty small.
No.
Oh, for me, I would eat the whole thing. You're saying, okay?
Yeah.
$17.
For one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Well, there you go. There's one thing that's more expensive for them there than it is here.
What Milk Boy, Reese's Thins, Vermont? What the hell? Why aren't you?
Do they just have the plain chocolate flavor, Jess, or do they have anything else?
They have pineapple lumps. Those are $12. They did have one other selection of. Now I need to go back. Okay, they had Whitaker's cocoa peanut butter.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's
Top 5.
definitely that one.
Mm,
All right, but what's our top 5 Whitaker's flavors, Kiwis?
that's only
Team Kiwi.
$12.
I need to look at all their flavors.
The
There's-
one with the caramel inside every square for me might be my number one, even though it's a hot mess every time if you don't break the squares perfectly. But
It's
I
too
lo-
messy for me.
Too messy. But what if you just like put it on top of something and you like shatter it, like like I'll have
I
it
really
on ice
like
cream or something.
Hazella.
That's a good one.
Hazella could be my number one.
Beyond, do you have a fave?
I tell you what, while we're talking about Whitaker's, we haven't spoken about probably the best or one of the best donuts in New Zealand, which has Whitaker's in it. Have you guys had the unholy donut from Hell Pizza?
No.
I've
Okay.
always
Oh,
wanted
right
that,
by
but
where-
no.
Kid Crisis, I'll have to get one next time.
So it's like a long fried donut, and inside it has some caramel throughout it, as well as one of those. Whitaker's also sell these like thin chocolate. I guess it's like one long block thing.
Yeah.
It's quite thin, but it's about this long, and they slide that inside as well, and you can get it in dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate. Even if you're not a big white chocolate fan, get the white chocolate one, and it's all melted inside, and it is incredible.
Ooh,
If
that's
anyone
another
comes
one of
to
my
New Zealand-
top Whitaker flavors is the blondies. The
Yeah.
blondie white chocolate
Oh,
one, because just white chocolate by itself is can be a little gross and treacly sometimes.
I love
But
that one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's caramelized
So
white
good.
chocolate, so it has like more body to it. Definitely in my top 5.
Yeah, if you like caramelized white chocolate, you would like that. It's
Ooh.
probably like 1,000 calories or something, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think
I'll
that
go
would
in the
kill
middle
me.
of my run that I do every day. Now, you don't realize how much of an influencer you are, Batmantha, because when you're like on my stream being like, I'm going for a run, will you sit in your ass and talk about comics for 3 hours, Crisis? That's exactly what she said, by the way.
I'm just going for my run as you're starting, and I do actually listen to you.
I
as
know
I'm
you
running.
do. But then I get done my stream and I'm like, well, I guess I've got to go on a run now. And it's like so I figured out my neighborhood is like a classic Wellington neighborhood that's like up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
But where the kid goes to school is flat. So I drive to pick her up for school, but then I go on a run there. And it's the first time I've run a flat 5K like since I've been here, because I've never done the around the bays. That's really the only semi-flat part of Wellington is our around the bays. So it was like, oh my gosh, I'm like faster, but also there's no downhill to like sometimes, just fly down and give yourself rest. So just know that every time you say that on that same day after I'm done streaming, I go for a run, because you're a fitness influencer of one.
Thank you. Stop it.
They also have Hokey Pokey Crunch Whitakers.
I don't know. What is the feeling on Hokey Pokey Beyond? I feel like I'm going to blaspheme.
I haven't had the Whitaker's Hokey Pokey. I'm more of like the creamy caramel one's good. I think they have like a Black Forest one that's also really nice.
Fruit.
I'm one of those people that whenever there's a new flavor that's out, I have to try it like day one.
Have you tried?
I like the oat milk one. Everybody says that it's bad, but I'm like, it's like
Okay, I haven't tried that one.
chocolate. Well, I like in my fantasies, I would be vegan all the time, but it's it's too hard. But I have gone through periods of my life being vegan, and so I was like, ooh, like chocolate that's not milk chocolate, and I like it because dark chocolate's too dark for me, but it's like a semi-dark because it's not as milky, even though it is made with oat milk.
There's fruit and nut.
Not in my top 10 personally.
Okay.
I think I usually like fruit and nut, but I think I prefer the berry and biscuit for Whitakers.
The peanut butter one is on sale for like 50% off, $12.
That's 12 US dollars, I assume, right?
12 US.
Like 18. That's 3 Whitakers here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you never know. I could go into the grocery store next to the Tim Tams and it might even be there.
Oh yeah, America has Whitaker. I never realized they were from here, but they don't have the full range. Like I had never seen tweets in America, but here that's like one of the standard kinds, the ones with the little pop rocks inside of them.
I was happy with just the one flavor of Tim Tams, so I'll be okay if you just have one thing of Whitakers. I was texting Bo live while I was getting it, and I said, I'm living like a god. I showed him a picture of it, and I got 3 of them. And I have a feeling I'm going to the store tomorrow. Hondo is working the Paris Paloma show at the Regency March 25th.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Getting back to comics, the Garcia Lopez DC style guide is worth every penny. I never purchased anything so quickly from IST, says Jewish Dragons.
It's absolutely beautiful. And if I'm a branding nerd, I did communications for a living. It's really cool. It's by this company, Standards Manual, and they do real reproductions of manuals that originally in the day were just binders. You can see here on the page that it actually has the whole marks, because this is all scanned from original binder pages. So here's a stand-up of models for all of the Titans. So Standard Manual used to do these kinds of books for, and still does for things like Heinz ketchup, right? And they do basically brand books for them of like, what were their Pantone colors? What were the accepted use of their logos? And they're just a artifact for people who care about like communications history. I'm trying to find one that has turnarounds on it real quick for you. But, and there's this great Washington Post article from them that said usually they do a print run of about 2,000 of one of their standard manuals, bystander manuals, and this they did a print run of over 12,000.
Look at that.
So these are all the turnarounds, and what's really interesting about this is that they wouldn't necessarily give these to people at DC Comics. So if you worked at DC, it's not like this was standard issue. You would be there's stories of creators buying them on the aftermarket or buying them from their licensing partners or like making photocopies of them. These were given to people who were doing lunchboxes, T-shirts, all of that DC marketing in the early 80s. I think this originated in 1982. And so this was the brand book, and it was the way to know how to draw the characters. I had a page held earlier that was so great because they have some more obscure heroes in here too, but there's a lot of Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman, of course. So here's the Flash. And so the turnarounds were just like you would see turnarounds in animation to help people know how to draw all the aspects of their costumes. So no matter what they were showing them from, they could. But this was a big binder with 3 hole punches. And I used to actually maintain a brand binder like that in one of my past lives. And I remember that like you would have to do back before there was digital of everything, you would have to issue a brand binder update, and you get like you get this packet of hole punch pages, and it's like remove pages 4 and 5. Batman's logo is now larger. Insert these new pages 4 and 5. And that's how you would get people to keep these brand manuals operational. And that's why they had hole punch pages, because it was cheaper to replace a couple of pages every year as your branding standard changed rather than getting a whole new printed book. So of course, there's not that many of them still extant in great condition because they had to be kept up to date, and pages could rip out and yellow and stuff. And so, but because all of the art is by, I don't have my glasses on to say his name correctly, is by, what is his name that I can't say because I'm blind right now? Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Because his art is so revered, people over the years have paid huge premiums. You can find them sometimes for like thousands of dollars on eBay. And so DC approached this company, and that's why it wasn't on Diamond at first, because this company is just some company that makes weird communications books that freaks like me buy. And so they were like, Diamond, what's that? And then DC was like, oh, actually there's a big demand for this in what we call the direct market. And so they listed it on Diamond. They had to get like a publisher code. It wasn't sold through DC. If any of you pre-ordered it, if you go back and check, it wasn't a DC serial number, and DC of course doesn't even natively list with Diamond anymore. It was just this one-off listing from Standards Manual, and so that's how it got into the direct market. And then it was delayed because they don't work on like a 3-month pre-order. They just are a book publisher, and so it finally came out, and it finally found its way into the pipes at Previews and Diamond, and then we all finally got it. It literally just got here this week, so I ordered it whenever the pre-order. James found it on pre-order for me back in like August. But yeah, really cool. There's no real content. It's just all of these beautiful turnarounds. And then every so often there's an introductory text page that just like gives some context for the hero, but it's not even like I'll find one and then read it when I get there. Yeah, it's not like it explains like what the powers are or anything. It's just like some marketing copy, just so you have some context if you were working at a company that was doing this. Oh, I should just subscribe to them because I love this nonsense. So here's like a page of how to render the Superpowers logo, which I of course had on dozens of toys from Kenner in the 1980s. Yeah, so it's their whole brand book. Oh, here's the page I was looking for, the color turnarounds for Plastic Man, which I just love. Cool. I'm sorry if I showed that first. I know I'd been holding my finger on this page.
I don't remember seeing that.
And of course, these were all the Kenner toys. So Kenner was probably using these as brand models for the toys. And the intro says, he's red and yellow and can become a chair or a bicycle or a cat or even Aunt Matilda's favorite blender. Who is he? Only the irrepressible Plastic Man. That's who. Plastic Man is definitely the strangest hero you'll ever meet. He can stretch his pliable body and twist himself into almost any silly shape, from a 1957 Thunderbird, fins included, to the world's only red and yellow hearse. So none of this is like particularly educational. It's just, I think, to give them a little bit of copy so that if they had to write a sentence of marketing copy, they had something to go off of. But yeah, I love that. I would have as much as I love omnibuses, I'm really tempted to just subscribe to Standards Manual and just have all of the brand manuals of all of the brands that they do manuals for.
Let's see. Eric agrees. What We Do in Shadows, movie and TV show, both fantastic. I've heard of this show. I enjoy Wellington Paranormal.
Oh, that's a good one.
And here's somebody important to the show, Mackenzie. Big fan of the Kiwi Takeover. Thank you for the thumbnail, Mackenzie. There we go. I've heard of this show too. I think one of my favorite shows ever, Mr. In Between, is filmed in New Zealand. I think Hondo is the one that's been recommending it to me. Doug referring to the upcoming collected editions. There is a lot of stuff coming out in March. A lot. And he's right. March 11th and 18th are going to be big ones. Oh, and here's our Oracle, James. Important birthday in March. Unstoppable Bar. Rodimus Prime Rib, Max Appleman, Odefell, OmniDog, Webhead, and OmniDog daughter. That's right. Was born on Easter. She was my Easter bunny. Munin, who has a fantastic action figure collection, and I created a tattoo channel on my Discord just for people to show their tattoos. And I think he's going to do that. So Beyond Comics, please join my Discord and show your tats in the channel. Yours are epic. So
yeah, I didn't know you'd added that channel. I don't have any nerdy ones, but I can show them.
I just added it like half an hour ago.
I can't wait to check that out. You guys have to give me some ideas because I'm naked here. You know, I'm a blank canvas.
Yeah, there's there are a ton of good. I've seen a ton of great tats, and I would love to have people show them in Discord. Let's see, Batmantha. How is the Batman readathon going? Other panelists doing a readathon also?
I stopped after Batman Eternal.
What are you reading now?
But I'm still going through Eternals, the Eternals Omnibus. I think I'm like halfway through it.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to get back to Batman when I'm in Japan. I'm going to take my iPad and just read Batman.
How long will you be gone? 2 weeks? A month?
Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Other panelists, anybody doing a readathon? What are you reading right now, Beyond?
I actually was just reading this morning. I think it's Batman Off-World by Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
Has anyone else been reading that one yet? I think the 6th issue only just came out. So it's not on, the 6th issue isn't on DC Infinite yet. But that is awesome. I only just finished issue 3 this morning. But I love it. It's like year 2 Batman in space, like his first adventure in space, where he's like trying to find the pressure points of different alien species so he can beat them up. And it's ridiculous, but it's awesome. I think the people who complain when Batman is with the Justice League and they prefer him to only beat up people in alleys, I think that this would be a good kind of introduction to some of those more crazy elements of Batman for them. I love the way it's written by Jason Aaron. It's really good. And Doug Mankey does a good job on art too.
The colors are phenomenal. Just I forget offhand who does them, but I will look it up and credit them.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, just like super, super vivid, like these pinks that almost look like they're a 5th color ink jumping off the page. And just all these like toxic greens and stuff really makes space look colorful. It's not a drab version of space. It's like a really kind of like hypercolor punk looking version of space. Colors by David Barron.
These are this is the back to the 6 Omnis Brian got. I bought Daredevil by Soul. That's out of print. Good job getting that. Daredevil Brubaker Book 2, Heroes Reborn, The Return, Ultimate Marvel by Hickman, and Earth X Alpha and Omega, all purchased from the same guy in person.
In person.
Ultimate Marvel. That that's the one that has his the maker story and stuff in it, right? Okay. Yeah, that's a good book. Okay, good job.
No, yeah, like original maker. Because Hickman wrote a brief run of like Ultimate Avengers. That was one of the few things that was not oversized of Ultimate Avengers, because they did all the like Mark Miller Ultimates. And so it's this weird slim book that has like Ultimate Thor, Ultimate Avengers, but it's the origination of all the maker plots. Yeah.
Right. Here's Kane, my buddy. Good evening, everyone. I feel like I made it on time. I'm sorry I'm late. You're okay. I went to the gym, rested, and now eating dinner. Nice. Wait a sec, Kane, I thought I made you a mod. Why aren't you a mod in here? I'll have to mod you up. Maybe it was an Omnibus. Yes, you do. You need to get that Mr. Miracle Absolute. I think so. I'm going to take team with Geo on Omnibus. Did you leave out some words in there?
Tag team? I've never seen Kane on a stream. Does Kane join Omnibus sometimes?
She does not. I have invited her, and she is prefers to be behind the scenes, which is fine. But she and I talk a lot in Discord. So I'm just getting her to be a mod. She takes it very seriously, which I appreciate. I should make her a mod right now. What? I'm not sure what that means. I feel like some letters might have gotten left out. On a gig right now, Kaigon Jin playing Cinderella the musical. Got you all on the stand next to the music. Awesome. Yeah, that is some multitasking. I love Jess and Webhead's monthly release video. No manga. No manga. My brain just can't. No, mine can't really either. Jess, are you getting that Neil Adams Classic DC Artist Edition? Hell yeah. I've been waiting my whole life for this. That's my guy, and it'll be his real stuff. Even though it's in black and white, it's going to be awesome. Oh, and here's someone from Malaysia, Azhar Abdullah Ma. Good morning, Azhar from Malaysia here, 9:50 a.m. doing laundry while listening to you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I haven't heard from my Malaysian sports writer in a long time, Farheed. I wonder how he's doing. Agreed on DC Style Guide, Jewish Dragon. So glad I picked it up. Sounds like Kiwi Donut technology is making some great advances. I have to say, the donut that Beyond Comics described, I mean, even though it's described, is sounds amazing. Cadbury Fruit Nut is A+. Good. We can always talk about candy, my favorite thing. Lars from Europe, one of my favorite artists would be Colin Wilson. Rogue Trooper, The Young Lieutenant Blueberry, Judge Dredd, and his own series, Braille. I've heard of this group, but I haven't listened to them. Anyone listen to Mannequin? They're out of Christ's Old Stomping Grounds in Philly. Great punk rock band, and my favorite record of 2024. I think you dig it, Jess. Okay, I've definitely heard of them.
They're punk, and that it's noisy and it's raucous and it's it's going to offend your sensibilities and ears. It's that kind of punk, and I think I'm somebody who likes prettiness in music a lot, so it was a little bit past my zone that I typically appreciate, and yet it was incredibly well made and just like a really, really cool recording of an album doing that kind of punk rock. I think I had it, and it was probably like in my top 60. What was that, of 2023? I forget if it was a 2024 record or 2023, but because I had to say, even begrudgingly, even though I didn't love it, it was just really well recorded. Plus, you got to support the Philly acts. I got to always come out for my Philly folks.
Absolutely. Mannequin. Okay, I can write down the real word here. Make sure upper management doesn't see it. Another thing I really like when it comes to New Zealand, first country giving women the right to vote. Nicely done. Have to get to sleep. Have to get to sleep? What? By the way, in honor of Jess March, thank you. I sent you an early birthday present. Thank you so much, Mr. Tex. Peace and love. I appreciate that, Jess March. Here's Kenny. What up? Good to see you, Kenny. What? Oh, this must be directed towards Peter. Standards Manual, NASA, and NYC Transit Authority books are some of my favorites. Gorgeous books and catnip for design nerds.
Yeah,
Man.
I want the NASA book so bad. It's sold out. And I'm like, don't pay aftermarket prices. Oh, no, they have two that are NASA, and one of them is still there, and it's $84. I'm like, do I need to spend $84 on a NASA brand manual? But this is the kind of stuff that I used to have at my desk when I worked in corporate communications, because it was just nice to have references of how other companies did this sort of thing. So when you were really stuck on a branding thing or how to present a brand standard, that you would have books of other people's branding. And I'm sure if I still worked in a corporate comm role where I did a lot of branding, I would have them all. I would expense them, you know, because I think in addition to being cool artifacts, they're just really good reference for like a well-structured brand regime.
You know what you need to get $84 worth of is New Zealand biscuits. Money for the important thing.
But you know, it's like I went through this period where I was going to do that on my channel, that kind of stuff, and it was back in like right before COVID. It was like in the end of 2019, because I did my big moving video where I moved all of my comics myself, and I shot myself like loading them into the car and moving all the boxes and in the rain and stuff. And I was like really thinking I had this fantasy that I was going to pivot to being like a lifestyle channel, because I thought it was going to be so viral, like, oh, 25,000 comics and I'm moving them all and I'm loading them in my car. In retrospect, it wasn't that big a deal, but to me, who just sits in front of a computer usually, to do all that video production and bring a camera around with me and then like edit it together, it seemed like it was like I was, you know, I felt like Mr. Beast. And then it got, you know, it did respectably okay for my channel, which at the time was like 1,000 views. And I was like, okay. And I'd shot all this other video to like start my new lifestyle brand, where it was going to be like me going to the New Zealand dump, me going to the beach, me. And then I was like, I'm not spending all that time editing all those videos. No, thank you. I will just stick to comics. And then it was COVID, so we were all locked down. There was nowhere to go.
I guarantee you and I tasting biscuits and cookies and stuff, thousands of views. I mean, thousands live. People will tune into that. They don't want to talk about the topic. I'll put up a topic, Batman readathon, and they'll want to talk about ice cream for the first hour. People just want to talk about stuff. They love talking about stuff, and I'm like all about it. I'm like,
about food.
Sorry?
People love talking about food.
Yeah. And they love talking to other people about whatever is not the topic. They love talking about food. They like talking about filming in New Zealand. Mackenzie says Sweet Tooth was filmed here also. Tamara Morrison is from New Zealand. He plays the clones in Star Wars. Yeah, people do love talking about food because it's an easy.
I need to do one of those. I need to do a video when I'm in Japan of trying all the different Kit Kat flavors.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Where will you post?
I'm filling my suitcase. I'm taking an empty suitcase.
Filling them with Kit Kats.
Yeah. They have so many flavors there that you have to get like special export outside of Japan. Like they have like matcha ones, but like weird flavors too, like fruits and just all different stuff.
When I was there 10 years ago, they had like, so the flavors, they've just got different flavors everywhere. It's like the airport would have different flavors that you couldn't get like in the city, and then the airport in Osaka would have different flavors than the airport in Tokyo, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting one of everything, or two of everything.
I love it.
Five of everything.
Where will you post that on TikTok or Instagram?
I haven't been posting at all. Maybe Instagram, because I guess it's like travel related, right? So yeah, I should do. I haven't posted in about 5 months, maybe 6 months.
Well, I'm always happy to host you if you want to eat Kit Kats live on OmniDog's Vault. That's 2 hours of nothing but food talk. That's a natural. Crisis Readathon is every week reading all the new issues. Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, you know, Sam's the one listening to it, so I don't know if it's as entertaining.
It's a lot
to anybody else as it is to me, but it's a lot.
It's impressive.
I don't know how
Beyond, you
do it,
absolutely have
honestly.
been in the comments on a few of them as well.
Yeah, I usually listen to them when I'm at work, but I don't think telling you that would make you want to work more, like Samantha's running.
Crushing Crisis, Light Spoilers, FF29 was amazing this week. Did I tell you, Crisis, that I read all 4 of the Fantastic Four?
Finally. So do you agree that it's some of the best Fantastic Four stories of all time?
I totally agree with that. It was part of my, now I know you don't watch my channel, it was part of my bi-weekly comic reviews because I set out this ridiculous amount of to be read list.
I saw the this is my to be read video of like all the things, but I've heard those words before. I've heard that there's things that are to be read before.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's going to continue into March and April. There was such a huge amount of books, but Fantastic Four is one of the first things I read. I read all 4 books. First issue had me in tears. First issue had me absolutely in tears. It was so moving. I love that Alicia's in it so much and has such agency. She is so cool in it. She's like the Fantastic Five. I love how they've worked her in there. It is... You're welcome for the omnibus that's easily going to come out, everybody, because I'm going to continue buying that in paperback. I do not want to miss a single issue of it. It is so good.
Some of my
I
favorites
think
were,
I've only read the first 2 trades.
Oh, well, that even has some great stories just in the
Yeah.
first 2. I think it's issue 7 where Doom visits them on the farm and he sits down at the piano and plays Rachmaninoff. That one I love. I like the one where you're seeing like a creepy ghost story in space, but it's actually the Fantastic Four, like in a separate plane of reality from the aliens, and they're trying to communicate with them. And of course, if you read 4 trades, OmniDog, did you get to the sexy issue? The uncomfortably sexy issue?
Oh, what number was that?
25. No, it might be in trade number 5. It might not be. Oh, we lost him. He's gone.
Yeah, talk Kiwi.
Beyond, have you read Fantastic Four?
I've read the Hickman run, which I did really like, and I've got the Mark Waid omnibus, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh no, this is current Ryan North of Dinosaur Comics. Yeah.
I haven't read any of the current run, but I've heard very good things.
I've never read Waid. I have it, but I think I only ever read the first trade, and at the time, I think Hickman was coming out at the time, and so I switched to Hickman. I never finished Waid.
Wait a sec here. Waid and Hickman were my top 2 Fantastic Fours. The only caveat I have about Hickman's is, of course, I think it needs to be read in context with his Hickvengers and the Secret War stuff. I don't know that it's a good... Some people disagree with me in the chat, but I don't know that it's a good first kind of Fantastic Four book. The Waid book is a great Fantastic Four book. Oh, Peter, I'm sorry. I haven't got this ended at issue 22.
But it has the great Vampires in New York story with Alicia, right?
Yeah.
That was good. That was another great one. I think that was one of the best Mr. Fantastic issues of all time.
And then they have, God, this was good too. Alicia Masters as the private eye and everything's in black and white. You didn't like that?
Too much of a flight of fancy for me. I need my comics to tell continuity stories.
Come on, just relax.
I have no sense of humor. I'm a humorless bastard when it comes to tell a story that counts in continuity or get out of my way.
I thought the first issue of this, I mean, it totally moved me, and the ending totally moved me, and the whole idea that this town's hidden, not appearing on GPS, and the Thing and Alicia walk into this motel that's not on their GPS, and it's stuck in a time loop where they don't recognize anybody. It's like 1947, and it's like Groundhog Day until they figure out who's causing it to keep happening, and they find out who it is. And the ending, just, I swear, it left me in tears. It was just a beautiful, beautiful ending. And right after that, I was like, okay, I'm reading all of this forever. It is such a great first Fantastic Four if you've never read Fantastic Four or you consider yourself a Fantastic Four addict, you know everything about it, Ryan North's take, this is a crisis recommendation that I am glad I took and finally read. And other crisis recommendation was Runaways, which was great. I read that earlier. Crisis, I'm talking to you. Stop looking at the chat.
I hear you that you read Runaways. I was just thinking that, you know, when I actually put effort into my recommendations for you, and you don't just assume if I said I liked a comic, it was a recommendation for you. I know what you'll like. And those two were much to my strongest, because I know you like comfy comics. You like comics that, I mean, you like, you know, things that are frustrating and things that are super and things that are action packed too. But I know you have a very specific comic consumption sweet tooth for comfy comics that have like family dynamics, that have like, you know, moments where they you know, happen to have a wrestling match in a junkyard like in She-Hulk. And I just know you really like those kinds of comics, and I think Runaways and Fantastic Four both really fit into that comfy comic zone, which isn't always my thing. Another one you're going to like, which I'll be getting on you in a few months when the first collection comes out, is Rocket Fellers, which is the new Patrick Gleason book for Giant Generator, which is, or no, not Giant Generator. Ghost Machine. Thank you. Ghost Machine, which is Jeff Johns' imprint at Image. It's just so comfy. It's so cute. It's so family oriented, but also good, you know, adventure story. And I just, whenever I read a book like that, I'm like, Jess is gonna love this. This is Jess's jam.
The first thing you ever recommended to me was Suicide Risk, and that thing was rocking.
Well, that's not a comfy book, but I know you.
No, it's not. But you knew my taste, and
yeah,
Batmantha was the first one. This was a Batmantha recommendation. Junkyard Joe. I flipped over that book. What a wonderful!
Yeah, I love that.
And that reading it, like, read Geiger first, Junkyard Joe next, and then there's little Easter eggs in Junkyard Joe that refer back to Geiger, and you're like, oh, he's world building here, and this is going to be a big thing, a huge world. I was just super excited at the end of Junkyard Joe, because it, without spoiling it, it sets up for much bigger things, and I am fully on board with that. It was great. Let's see, that Mr. Miracle's boss. Thank you, my partner there. Before listening to Alice Clark's 1972 Soul album all the time. Also have Jun Togawa on constantly, 80s Japanese art pop, and worn out the first Cardigans album after playing it on loop.
Huge fan of the Cardigans in this household. I love all Cardigans. I even like some of their later records. The one that has Fine Wine and But You Should Be Kinder. I forget what that's. I think their last album as a band. That album's a masterpiece. Also love Alice Clark. I have that 1972 record. Now that Cardigans, Long Gone Before Daylight, is that Cardigans record? Now it's going to bug me until I get it right.
Okay.
Now that's another good. That's the one with communication on it. What is the one with Fine Wine called?
You're like you are with music, like you are with comic books. You've got
Super Extra Gravity. Oh, Jess, do you like the Cardigans, Jess?
I don't know that I've ever listened to them.
Well, you would primarily know them from Love Fool from the 90s. Love me, say that you love me, fool me from the... No.
You have a nice voice.
Well, I am a... Thank you.
That's nice. Yeah.
On my channel, they're singing sometimes. If you make it through all 60 books.
Kenny, I'm not going to get the first Supergirl. I'm going to wait for it to get collected. I am excited that there's a new Supergirl. Very excited. And I will get this. If Art Term's doing the variant cover, I will definitely get that. Deerhoof is still my favorite band. I can't ever confidently recommend anyone. I like Deerhoof because they're weird noise rock, but I love them. Oh yeah, Hondo shares. It does have a rock and roll lifestyle. I attended Apocalypta plays Metallica Volume 2 last night at the Palace of Fine Arts. You are so blessed to live in the Bay Area, my buddy.
Right, so much good music. Jess, I think I'm going to get you addicted to the Cardigans. They're so your speed. It's kind of wild to me that you don't already like them.
Okay.
They're a 90s indie rock band. They came out around the same time as Garbage. They're fronted by a female singer who also has her own solo stuff that's fantastic. And they're Swedish. And they played this very twee, like almost lounge influenced indie rock pop, but they also are all big metalheads. So sometimes they would do like a cover of like a heavy metal song, but in their kind of like twee, loungy way. And then their singer, Nina Persson, has her own solo albums and has with other bands, but it's very much in your vein. If you happen to like Bird and the Bee, is that a band that you're aware of? They're like another, I would say they're like progenitors of Bird and the Bee. Like Bird and the Bee exists because Cardigans did this kind of like lounge indie rock in the 90s.
Oh, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah. Bird and the Bee. I love one of the albums we play into the ground in this household is Bird and the Bee covers Hall Notes. Do you not have it? It's a whole Bird and the Bee album of them doing all Hall Notes covers, and they're even. I mean, I'm a Hall Notes truther. I'm from Philadelphia, like they're from where I'm from, and I grew up on them. But the Bird and the Bee version is impeccable. It's so beautiful. It's so cool. They do really do them note for note, but they add all those little Bird and the Bee like electronic flourishes. Very, very cool.
Okay, I am way into it then. Peter, I just recently listened to Olivia Rodrigo's music catalog for the first time ever. I was blown away. This is from Darth Twinkie. The lyrics, the vocals, the instrumentation, all absolutely fantastic.
Batmantha, how are we feeling about Olivia? Are we into that? What is our feeling?
I like her, but there's better artists.
It's fair.
Not better artists, but there's just artists that I prefer to listen to. But I was obsessed with her first album.
I like that she's very reverent of my 90s queens. Like she covers Veruca Salt Seether at her shows and has had Veruca Salt come on stage with her. I like that she acknowledges that there's roots to rock music. And even though she's an artist in a pop idiom, that like she acknowledges the Liz Phair's, the Veruca Salts of the 90s. That's cool. I don't like when artists like pretend like they're in a vacuum and none of these women like blazed a trail for them in the 90s to exist now. But I think that, I don't know, she's fine. I'm happy she exists. I'm happy she's doing rock. If you like that, if I can make another recommendation to you, Ortla Gartland, who is this UK, I want to say, indie rocker. She's also in this kind of like indie rock supergroup. She's a little weirder than Olivia Rodrigo, but she's like in that same vein of like pop, but actually it's indie rock. And she's really, really cool.
Who is that?
Ortla Gartland. She had an album last year and an EP the year before, and I just really like her. Probably one of my top 10 records last year. Orla Gartland. Irish. She's Irish. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Eric,
See, Jess, I missed jamming on comics this past month. So now since I have all these music recommendations piled up since I was sick on jamming. Because, Batmantha, I got heat stroke from running.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, it was just hilarious because it's not like Wellington gets hot, but I think I just like pushed myself too hard a couple days in a row and I just like wiped myself out.
Yeah, we had a Peterless jamming on comics. It was fun, but not as fun as, it could have been. Freddie and I did the best we could.
Next time.
Eric designed a shirt for my wife's band based on the Japanese Kit Kat matcha flavor. Azar, I just don't understand why DC needs to rebrand Batman back to issue 1. That is, you can talk about Marvel doing that, and we don't understand it either. It happens. It's confusing, but it happens. Oh, and he's changed his name. Now he's the Eclectic Electric Brent Hogan. He used to be adorable. I taught English as a second language for over 10 years. Food and family were the universal subjects that everyone would talk about first in beginning speech classes. That's why it feels like all of Duolingo was all food words for the first 2 units. Okay. Wow, that collection is massive. So many comics. Hope you've read them all. I still haven't finished mine either. Was he talking to you, Peter?
I don't know. I mean, we've all got pretty massive collections behind us.
Talking to any of
Yeah,
us.
I haven't read all of mine.
No, me. Oh, not even close.
This is just my reference library. This isn't even like my to read. This is, this is just to make guides with.
I love hearing this. My to buy list expanded greatly after that video, Jess. Yes, that was my bi-weekly, which is going to turn into a monthly review of my to be read list. Fantastic Four Johnny issue was great. When did the maker first show up? It was in that Hickman Ultimate. It's in the Ultimate Marvel book, but it's not called Ultimate FF. It's called I'd have to go in the other room. I know right where it is, but I forget what the title was for when the maker first shows up. It's 12 issues. Oh
yeah, he becomes the maker at the end of Ultimate Fallout, but then he stars as the maker in Ultimate Comics, the Ultimates.
It's Ultimate,
which is the primary material in that Hickman omnibus that we keep talking about.
Right. I was joining FF Narayan North, but didn't fall in love with it till issue 16. This is about Junkyard Joe and Geiger, big time world building. Here's Crushing's YouTube. As a matter of fact, underneath in the description box, there is a link to Crisis's website, and I'm going to need to get that YouTube channel. I'll get a link for that. And there's also for Beyond Comics Instagram, and coming soon, Batmantha's Kit Kat video. We will highlight that.
I mean, I could PayPal you a Kit Kat budget, and then you could get all the same Kit Kats and send them to me in Wellington, and we could have a Kit Kat tasting ranking video.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna bring back like 4 of each, I guess.
Oh my goodness!
So,
well, if you're going for one, you're in Japan. You might as well get 4 or 5. Right?
How many? I mean, there's so many though. 20,
yeah,
30.
well, see, I don't know how much I'll be getting.
Yeah. You're just taking an empty suitcase. That's brilliant.
MPI will let them back in because they're all sealed, right? And they're like consumer candy. You don't have any problems bringing that kind of stuff back in? No,
it's all good.
Wait. Crisis answered this already in the chat. Are any of you guys getting the Batman by Tiny Onion Omni? Why or why not?
I'm not planning on it. I've got the standard size hardcovers, and I think all of Joker War isn't in that, is it? I don't think it is.
Well, they split it into 2.
It is missing some stuff that we have with the standard hardcovers.
I don't know. I feel like my Batman Omni collection is kind of done. Like I'll get Tom King's run in Omni format, but I think everything else I'm sticking with the hardcovers now.
Have you been reading? I haven't read this yet. Rom V's Detective.
No,
I have that in standard hardcover. It's getting an omnibus, so it's.
Oh, it is. I didn't see that news.
Yeah, he said that, and he
said that in Dom's interview.
Yeah, Dom's interview, and he said something else was getting an omnibus that he was writing. Probably Swamp Thing, which I just bought in paperback.
You haven't read that yet, Jess?
Swamp Thing?
Yeah, by Ram V?
No, I just got it in this week. Yeah, have you read it?
I have, and I really liked it.
Okay, good.
It's some of the more stronger modern Swamp Thing material for sure.
Yeah, Beyond is loves Swamp Thing and that's his sweet spot. Would you say he's your favorite character?
He's definitely one of them. My interests kind of, it depends who I'm reading at the time, like kind of moves around.
And I can read that Swamp Thing just by itself. There's nothing that comes before it. Do I need to know anything
I think
else?
you'll be fine because it's not Alec Holland who's Swamp Thing. It's a new one that was technically introduced, although I think some people didn't realize at the time, but Ram V's confirmed his first appearance is in a Halloween special issue. So I'm not sure if that's collected in the trades. I think it might be. But even if you didn't you can skip that. I think you'll be fine just starting from issue 1, and it'll explain it for you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can go back in the other room and get the Swamp Thing trades, and you can talk more Kiwi. Kenny, my hype level for Superman in the DCU is pinned in the red zone. I think Superman is going to be a $1 billion movie when it's all said and done. How does anybody else feel? Give your opinions while I go give Swamp Thing. Find Swamp Thing.
Who wants to go first? I'm excited for Superman, but I'm excited for Superman, but that first slate that James Gunn announced like 2 years ago, that's just been thrown out the window. And it's
they just said, "Oh, we're not doing Authority, and we're not." There's another one that was like on the slate.
Booster Gold's not happening anymore, or that's postponed. And
apparently, Supergirl's halfway shot, and they just released images from the Green Lantern show. So things are happening. I don't know. What about you, Beyond?
We're getting a Clayface movie, probably with no Batman. So
yeah. I'm very excited for Superman. I'm probably maybe even more excited for Lanterns. I'm a little bit disappointed that they've gone. I see why they've done it, but it's a grounded show, like a true detective thing. And the one shot that they released is just them walking in the middle of a dirt road. So it's not, I think they're going to have to earn the big galactic battle because they've confirmed that Sinestro has been cast. I can't remember the actor's name. So I imagine we'll get there eventually, but
whoops, this is New Roots.
I don't know. My excitement's like, I'm excited for Superman. I was more excited like a month or two ago. Just all this new stuff. I don't know.
And it's part of why
I think James Gunn's finding it like it's really difficult to be Kevin Feige.
Yeah. Well, it's why I don't allow myself to get that excited about this. Like, oh, we announced a slate, and everybody's like, "How do you think?" I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's less reliable than comic book solicits. Talk to me when there's a movie, and then I don't really watch movies. My new movies I need to watch list. The top of that list is The Shape of Water, which I believe came out in 2017.
Wow.
So I'll see the Superman movie in like 2030. I don't like movies. I like comic books. If I wanted to read a good comic book story, why would I watch a dumb comic book movie?
How dare you?
I don't know. I don't really like any. I like Winter Soldier. I like Watchmen for ironic reasons, but I generally do not enjoy comic book screen media because it's just.
Oh, that's right. You don't like any of
badly telling the stories that I love. Like what?
You famously don't like any of the Marvel movies.
But I don't like movies in general. What useful thing are you going to do in 2 hours? Like story wise, I don't know. I'm not a movie fan. I like performances. I like acting, and so if there's a movie where it's like really interesting acting, but then I like movies that are like a farce. Like I like Glass Onion. And what's the first one? Knives Out. I love Clue because that's something that fits into that 2 hour package, right? Like a locked house murder mystery. You introduce the subjects, there's a mystery, you have them all be suspect of each other, and then somebody's the murderer. Like that fits into the idea of 2 hours of storytelling. So I enjoy those movies, But like, don't tell me that you can do a good Superman story in 2 hours. That's bullshit.
Have you seen Peacemaker?
No, I don't think James Gunn is very funny. I think he's actually kind of super cringe. So I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, this is cringe. And then people liked it. But that's why you can't trust my recommendations of TV stuff. Because I love Peacemaker and comic books. I loved Peacemaker Tries Hard. I did Old Reader, New Reader for that. But I can't be trusted because my quality barometer has nothing to do with actual quality of the thing on the screen. It's just me being a curmudgeon. I'm like the old guys in the Muppets on the balcony.
Statler and Waldorf. It does not. I did all that. It does not contain the Halloween.
Well, now we know. I'll go update.
It's not super essential.
Okay,
you can read it on DC Infinite.
I'm sure I have all those Halloween specials and Christmas specials. Those things that are never really that great, but they always have Harley on the cover, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And Swamp Thing, whatever. Yeah, I'm sure I have it. Rom V. Detective Rome is great. Had some interesting themes like inverse these savage shores. I happen to know the answer to this. You do have daylight savings times, don't you, in New Zealand? And ours changes on March 9th. Is that when yours changes?
Oh, it hasn't been outlawed there yet?
It's been renamed. It's been renamed. It's American Daylight Savings Time now.
Freedom time now?
Yeah, you can't use it.
Ours is later. Ours is not until April.
Early
There's always
April.
that weird month where we're like an odd number of hours.
Okay. Oh, I love The Shape of Water.
I like
Same.
it too.
Oh, well, then maybe I need to move it up the priority list. It's been
I've
only
seen
waiting
so many
for
movies lately.
8
It's not even
years.
funny.
Oh yeah, you saw like 5 movies.
I've seen a movie like every day.
Yeah, and what was the one you liked Honora the best?
Honora is my favorite movie of the year. Yeah.
Okay. I need to see that. I should have seen it while upper management was away for a couple days.
And The Substance.
The Substance.
Substance was so good.
Now, I can't remember. Are you generally a horror fan or
No.
No, you're not. But you like The Substance.
It was so well. I didn't think it was scary. And
Yeah.
then, like at the end, everyone, like me and these 2 girls next to me, were like cracking up. It was just so funny.
I did not know it was a comedy.
Well, I don't think it's. Well, I thought the end was funny.
Okay. Well, I definitely listened to you because you're the first one that told me that Joker 2 sucked.
Yeah. Well, it did.
Yeah.
And Conclave. Conclave was great.
I do kind of want to see that because I like my Catholic BS.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I feel like in any other year, Ralph Fiennes wins Best Actor, and that movie is that's my best picture.
Do you know why he didn't get nominated? Because
he did get nominated
for the Conclave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I thought that who's the big nose guy that is
Adrian Brody and The Brutalist?
Yeah, I thought okay, because there's a controversy over the Oscars that these no. The controversy over the Oscars is some of the voters looked at Ray Fine and said he's already won an Oscar, so we're not voting for him, which he
hasn't won.
Right. And they said, let's vote for Adrian Brody instead because he hasn't won an Oscar. And he has. That's why they're screwed up. They said, and so there's.
But those honest ballots are so stupid. They only ask like what 10 people out of 10,000.
Well, yeah, and if 2 of them don't vote for the person, they're not going to get on. I'm not sure that Ray Fine got nominated from what I read, but I mean,
I just checked.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, somebody else. It's Daniel Craig didn't get nominated for Queer at the Oscars, but got nominated at all the precursor awards. So like he knows he's just there for fun.
Uh-oh. Juice Dragons. My Omni days may be numbered as well. The things that get read are trades and standard hardcovers. Sitting at a table with an Omni seems like too much trouble, and I tend to just pick something else up. Swamp Thing was also in the works apparently with James Mangold. The only thing I want to see in a Swamp Thing movie is the intimate relationship with Abigail and Swampy's inner monologue, which probably won't happen. And here's James with Honora. I know. I need to see it. And when I see it, I'll say, even though Cycle Cleveland and you recommended it, James, I'm going to say it was a Batman recommendation. Just to bug you guys.
That's very good.
Batman, you should add Companion, The Gorge, and Presence from James. All 3 of them are very good.
I think I want to see Companion. That's the one with Jack Quaid, right? Someone?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think it is.
Has everybody seen Pan's Labyrinth? Did you ever see Pan's Labyrinth, Crisis? Yeah.
In the theaters, yes.
Oh, okay. How about you, Beyond?
I haven't seen that one. No, I know of it though.
Yeah, I highly recommend that. That was wonderful.
It's so good.
Okay. So what? I saw your comment about desperately seeking on my stream. To know what happened to action because Kid Crisis. She's big on her spies and capers. I don't have that on DVD. Desperately seeking.
Susan from 1985 with Madonna and is it Patricia Arquette?
Yeah, I saw that in the theater.
I was a little young for that one, but I definitely saw Who's That Girl? Rosanna Arquette.
Rosanna Arquette. Okay. The one that got the song written about her. Let's see. Yes, Companion has Jack Quaid. It's so funny. Oh, I need to re-see The Devil's Backbone. That movie was so great. Okay, James. I know I'm supposed to watch Anora and go to my LCS. I'm hoping I can do it next week. I'm under such pressure here from the viewers. So we're getting close to the end of the stream for everybody because Samantha's got a football match. Crisis has to make dinner. Beyond has to come up with another thumbnail for my stream. What are some of your closing thoughts? Comics you recommend? TV? Crisis doesn't know about. Movies? Crisis doesn't know about. So what? Let's talk about the thing you're all excited for. Well, the two of you are excited for. Lady Gaga's latest album. Go for it. Beyond Comics, do you like Lady Gaga?
I'm a Lady Gaga enjoyer. Yeah.
Okay. Well, these guys are hyped up. Go.
Most talented woman on the planet.
I've been watching old Lady Gaga videos to prepare. So I just watched all of her Ellen appearances when she was like so new and she would just appear in like a sparkly blazer and like underwear. And that was like the height of coolness for her. And the first time she did Poker Face and she was standing on the piano bench on Lady Gaga, on Ellen. And it's just so funny because I was there for that, not for that Ellen show, but I was just getting into her. I just missed her on tour on the Fame. And then I saw her on the Monsters Ball tour that she rescheduled when her tour with Kanye got canceled. The little theaters tour with the raked stage. And I think I saw her the week Fame Monster came out. So it was kind of at like the height of early peak Gaga. And yeah, I'm a huge fan. And I mean, I loved Chromatica. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved it. But it just feels like this one's going to be special.
Yeah, there's some excitement around this one that I don't think there has been for a while.
Well, because it's interesting. Chromatica was very major key for a lot of the choruses. Like it was kind of big and happy sounding, like Stupid Love being a great example. And I think part of why people latched onto 911 so much, even though it had a great video, spectacular video, possibly her best, but because it just had that weird, creepy minor key feel that her original album had. And that's why she had this monster vibe. If you go back and listen to all of her original singles, I think even Paparazzi's, they're all very minor key. And she like really plays with like putting one unexpected major in them. And Disease, I've just been playing it in the background, has that where it like violates the key that it's in. It's like, oh, I could play the doctor, I can cure your disease. And that chord shouldn't be major, but it is. But I mean, it's just fine. Max could explain what mode we're in. But that's like an earmark of early Lady Gaga that got lost. And I feel like both Disease and Abracadabra have that. And that's why people are having that like visceral reaction to both of them.
Yeah. Well, I think she did a listening party last night for the album and everyone that went has been raving about it. So I can't wait.
I did see her in concert with my daughter back when my daughter was in college. So was that 2012 maybe? What tour would
Born
that?
This Way Ball? Born This Way Ball? The Born This Way Ball?
Probably, yeah.
I think that's about 2012.
Right. Yeah.
I first saw her in concert, I think it was during the Fame, and she opened for the Pussycat Dolls. and she had this tiny stage to perform on, and she just she was the star of the show.
Oh, she had to be. Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah,
I remember.
She opened for them in 2008, 2009.
That's like Jimi Hendrix opening for the Monkees back when it happened in 1967.
She was so good. And then I saw the Fame Monster Ball in Hong Kong, I think, or Macau, and then the Born This Way Ball. Oh my God, I went to every show.
And how many is that? Where?
That was 3 in Auckland, and I saw her in Los Angeles as well. But I don't think I've seen her since. I don't think she's been back here since Born This Way Ball.
Will she be touring for this new album? Or is that not known?
I don't think she's toured I don't think she's done a world tour for a long time. Because she's done a couple residencies in was it in Vegas? Yeah.
Oh, in Vegas. In the Sphere.
Mm-hmm. Well, not the Sphere, but she did that residency when she was performing jazz. Yeah. I think I have my facts right.
I'm sure you do.
Okay.
I'll vouch for you. Crisis, seems you're a Madman fan from my Evergreen comment. Are the rest of you, are you a Madman fan?
I like it because it's about classic advertising, and it's
Mad Men, sorry.
Kind of based in reality, even though they're not real people. So I love the period stuff that they talk about. I don't know. Did two of you Mad Men fans?
I loved Mad Men. TV back then was so good though. House was on, Dexter was on, Mad Men.
I loved House.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I loved House. What about you, Beyond? Mad Men, House, Breaking Bad, any of these ringing?
I like Breaking Bad. I don't watch a huge amount of TV shows. I will say that I saw season 1 of Severance. Have any of you guys watched it?
That's the one TV show that I'm watching right now. I don't even have enough time to keep up with Drag Race, which is my happy place. But I have been watching Severance every week.
Yeah, I think the writing in Severance and the performances, everything is just terrific. So I'm waiting for season 2 to finish before I start, so I don't get stuck on a cliffhanger or something. But yeah, that's been amazing.
I loved season 1, and I've been told I've got to start watching season 2. I've had my friends at me got to start watching it, and White Lotus as well, the new season.
I ran the trailer by upper management for Severance because we had just finished Shrinking, which we freaking loved.
Love that. I love that. See, I like some things.
Yeah. Sure. But the Severance trailer, I guess I'm gonna have to watch it on my own because it didn't do it for her. She said she wants to watch Suits, and I don't know anything about Suits, but she seems to want to see that. And so I'm gonna have to watch Severance on my own. It sounds amazing.
Severance is so good. It's crazy. You'll oh my God, you'll be obsessed.
Nice. One of the best last episodes of a season, I think, in season 1 that I've seen in a TV show. It's that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you been reading that? There's a lot of stuff dedicated to Crisis in the chat, and he responds. So I don't know that I need to highlight them. Okay, now Marcelo, I love that book. I'm not allowing that. I already know what he thinks of it, and if you think the same of it, no. Sorry, Marcelo.
But you don't know about Mountain and Beyond. Think about maybe they like it.
I haven't read it, so don't ask me.
Which book is this?
Tom King's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You've read it, haven't you?
I do, yeah. I really like it. I can kind of see if you wouldn't agree with some of the stuff he does, though. So I kind of get it. But for me, I really enjoy it.
And I freaking loved it. So there we go. Okay, we know your thoughts. All right.
I don't think he should be allowed to make comics.
God. Get out of here, you jerk. Better Call Saul better than Breaking Bad. I don't know. I haven't seen either. Dexter's coming back this year. Here's Remy.
I don't know.
Hello, late bit, still managed to catch some of it. Hopefully everyone is doing well. We are all doing well. A Door Shrinking. Yeah, that show was so good.
I just love Jason Segel. His sense, some things I just don't find funny and everybody will laugh. I'm like, I don't get it because I'm just wired strangely. But Jason Segel hits me right in that space that I think is actually funny. And I just think Shrinking is hilarious.
Jason Segel's face, he can do so many different expressions, like just with his eyebrows or with his mouth or something, that I think he's super talented that way. When somebody can convey the emotions with just their face, like he does, whether it's confusion, it's a lot of times it's confusion in that show because he doesn't know what he's doing for the most part until he figures it out. But I thought that was, I love Jason Segel too. So, well, we are at the end of the show, the KIWI Takeover. Thank you guys so much. This has been a blast having you. I've looked forward to this all week. It's been wonderful talking to you. The links for Beyond Comics and Crushing Crisis are down below in my description. And we'll see what happens with Batmantha and her Kit Kat video. We'll promote it when it happens. And it's possible we will have a biscuit tasting video from Crisis, which I will totally be tuned into, unless I can somehow stick my nose in there and produce it and eat my own candy and chocolate and biscuits and things like that. Oh, and here's your blue sky. I better get a tag for that. Okay, so thank you to the chat for tuning in. Thank you to my wonderful guests. I love all of you. You are all so interesting and great. I love the perspective you bring, and I love your patience with me. I'm learning things about New Zealand that I didn't know before, and you're all wonderful people, and I really, genuinely, really like all of you, and I really appreciate you being on the show. So peace and love. Thank you to the stream, the viewers rather. Peace and love, peace and love. You guys were all great. I've been very happy talking to you guys. And this was a wonderful way for me to have the end of the week for me. And I really appreciate everybody being here. And I will use my theme song for Batterdays to play us out. And peace and love, peace and love.
Better days, better days, better days. OmniDog in the Minister of Comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat with the name